Shadowcasters Network, part of our 36-hour Stream-a-Thon. We're on hour 15 of the Stream-a-Thon, and we're very excited to have this early morning game of Fiasco using the Shadowrun playset Pink Mohawk. Bobby, I know you have a very carefully crafted introduction, so I'll let you...
Well, I'll jump into that in just a second. I have to say we should at least. I haven't gotten a chance to. We're doing this so quickly that I haven't gotten a chance to say hello to Greg. Hey, Greg.
Good morning.
I think the last time I actually spoke. I mean, I know you've spoken to Oz and other people, but the last time I did speak to you was at Gen Con when we got. That great story about how we all got double booked in.
When you invaded our panel and attempted to take over.
Yeah. That's where I know your face from.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
We tried to steal their room.
You did. And I was having none of it, if you remember.
So you guys are going to stall and say hi for a second, because I'm going to eat this banana, and I apologize. I feel like I have to apologize when I eat a banana in public.
I mean... Let's see that technique, though.
It's
determines a lot.
It's only in.
This
is not
no.
Oh my gosh.
No, come on.
No.
It's Pride weekend here. Be careful.
Oh man.
Ladies, please.
Oh man.
Cassie, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited. I'm up so early right now.
I'm up late.
I know.
In the life.
I mean,
I wish I could say I was up early.
I realized that I know you guys are doing this whole, like, I'm gonna not sleep for 36 hours.
It's okay, Cassie.
I can't do that sort of thing.
No, you know what?
And
don't let our insane decision making, it has no bearing on how you feel. Your your exhaustion are valid.
I normally wake up like 5 hours later than I am right now. So.
Yeah. You're not helping your case there, Cassie.
I love it. It's so great. It's so great to be able to work from home and set my own schedule. It's so wonderful. Fall asleep at 3 a.m. and wake up
I work from home too, but I'm a stay-at-home dad, so.
Your job is very different than mine. I don't actually have to deal with anyone.
Yeah. Okay, I've eaten that banana. You want me to just jump right into the introduction here to set up?
Yeah, let's do it.
Heck yeah, let's do it.
So for those of you who don't know, here with us, we're going to be playing Fiasco. Fiasco is a tabletop RPG with no GM. It is all about telling a story together. We're all going to participate in building the world, our characters who will play in the world, and the relationships between them. There are no stats, no character sheets. There are almost no dice rolled in this game at all. The dice that are rolled are pretty much for the purpose of randomizing and guiding our construction of our characters and their relationships. The four of us will be telling a story together in classic improv style. A scene's going to be set up. We take our places in the scene, and the audience will even get to tell us how the scene's supposed to end. We've chosen to play Fiasco with a Shadowrun playset, as Oz already said. And the first thing we're going to do here is create our characters. To me, this is by far the most structured part of the game, and that's saying a lot because it's not too structured.
Yeah, it's really there's not a lot of structure, no.
Yeah. After this really fun and hilarious part of the game, basically anything goes after that. So
it just goes downhill from there.
Yeah. The game is kind of broken up into different parts, and this is called the setup. To set up the game, we roll 16 dice.
Done.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes. I should have ordered those. Damn. Okay, no, I'll figure it out.
So I think Oz has already rolled the 16 dice. We roll. There are 2 white and 2 black dice for each player. We'll understand what those are in a second. The numbers on these dice are going to correspond to values on a chart that I don't think you guys are actually going to see, but what you're going to know, what you need to know is that we're going to be referring to items on a chart that we're going to be looking at that helps us decide things that we're going to be doing. It'll help us build the fiasco we find ourselves in. We're going to go around the table establishing connections between each pair of us that you see at the table. Each adjacent pair of players are going to be constructing connections that are relationships, and then also either needs, objects, or locations. And after we've done it, you'll see how it goes as we talk about it. I think the best way to to really understand what's happening is to watch how it's happening. And yeah, so why don't we go ahead and get started with that?
Well, I'm still setting up the dice here on the table, so feel free to also remind everybody what's going on with the Stream-a-Thon.
So we, of course, are doing this 36-hour Stream-a-Thon as sort of the finale of our summer fundraiser with the Shadowcasters Network, where we're trying to raise the money to keep us going for another year. Our goal is $4,000 to keep the lights on, and we've done amazingly well. I would say, thanks to the help of all the people watching, we're at 3,640, and we have sort of a yay, absolutely, because we've got a long time to go, almost 20 more hours, 19 more hours.
But that doesn't mean we can slack.
That does not mean we can slack. We've set sort of a soft goal for ourselves of $30 an hour. So over the course of this 3-hour game, that means what? $90. So I want to see 3,730 by the time we're done. That'll help us get towards the goal, and then we start focusing on stretch goals later, which have to do with things like revamping our website or even launching a new community talk show on our network. So if you're interested in seeing things like that.
I like the one where we hire an additional person.
Yeah, before we get too far into it, Greg, I want everybody, randomness is not something that you are unfamiliar with in your day job of shows.
Well, that's hardly my day job. I wish it was my day job. Very Random Encounters, which is our podcast, is a podcast where we play a wide variety of RPGs, in which we randomly determine as many things as possible. So our characters, our names, the villains, the plot lines, the places, as many things as we can randomize, we do, and then we try to tell a story with what we get. So that's our podcast, Very Random Encounters, at all podcast feeds. I'm part of the random life. This is what I do. I've gotten very good to being just handed something and say,
I was
highly recommend. I've heard you guys play Fiasco, and man, that was hilarious. The Christmas edition.
The holiday special.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
When I was the generic holiday wizard, yeah, it was real good.
All right.
I was searching for this. I still have a card that I got.
Yeah, that's our card.
Yeah, at Gen Con. So.
You're not missed. Okay. All right. So let's get started. We have a pretty relatively even dice setup. We have every number available and at least a pair of each. 6 as we have the most of. So we're gonna go ahead and let's start with our guest of honor, Greg, to make the first choice, and then we'll just go around Oz, Cassie, Bobby. First up is our relationships. Of note, I like to play where we are directly affecting our own characters, like, so that you don't plop dice down on a relationship that has nothing to do with you. But later on, as less and less dice are available, that I start opening up that option. So in the meantime, you can basically start setting like a generic relationship between me and you, or between yourself and Bobby.
How about Oz? You and I are family. I'm taking one of the 4s.
All right. A 4 is taken, and we are family.
So, so as I explained before, there's a chart that has all these different categories of relationships, which is what was just chosen, a family. So they're family, and that was number 4. And so to do that, you take one of the number 4 dice. You have to sort of like spend those dice on the numbers of the categories. So.
Where's the chart again?
It's in Roll20. If you go to the notes.
Okay. Yep, I found it. Yep, I'm good now.
I don't know why Roll20 keeps resizing my font, but damn them. Okay.
Rude. Rude font.
Totally rude. All right, cool. All right, family is taken. So next, me. What's up, Bobby? Yes, no, good. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna pick randomly. between myself and Cassie. I say let's spend a 6 for a strange relationship.
Ooh, yay!
Between you and Cassie?
Yes.
A strange relationship. I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Right,
And that was a
respond now.
6. Okay, you got that.
What is happening with my...
So is she able to now start specifying that relationship between
Yes.
you two, or do you want her
Right,
categorizing
so she can...
ours?
Yeah, it's up to her. She can either specify the relationship between myself and her, the strange relationship between her and me. She could start setting a generic relationship between you and between Bobby and her. We could also start setting needs, locations, and objects as well.
Okay. I think that I am going to choose between Bobby and myself, the relationship number 2, enemies.
Spicy.
I like that. I like it.
While I'm setting this up, actually, one thing I wanted to respond to in chat, people are asking, how do I donate to ruin your game? And actually, so
Don't worry,
funny
it's
enough,
Fiasco.
yeah, exactly. It'll ruin itself. What we do, you actually don't have to donate to assist us in messing with us, but you can actually help us while we play the game, and we'll show you how once we get to that point. But for right now, you can just help us brainstorm.
Yeah, after we get done with the setup, we're going to go into Act 1, and there's going to be plenty of opportunities. In fact, we will almost require you guys to help us on each scene. But if you do want to donate, which we encourage everybody to do, I just dropped a link to the fundraiser in the chat. But all right, so I'm going to say, I'm going to go ahead and categorize my relationship with Greg as being illicit.
Ooh.
We have a
Number
3?
three.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yes, we do.
Okay, good. Excuse me.
All right.
I'm going to lose my voice before this is over.
No.
All right, an illicit relationship has been set, and that brings us back to Greg. So you can now either specify the family relationship between you and me, the illicit relationship between you and Bobby, or start setting down needs, locations, and objects between the two of us, or between either of us.
Guess what, Oz?
Yes.
We're engaged.
Oh. Well, it's gonna be
Engaged.
so they're engaged. That's gonna have to
That's
come into play
number-
somehow with some drama
That's number
and
6.
Fiasco.
All right.
Engagements go completely hitch-free. What are you talking about?
Maybe
It's wholesome.
maybe they're planning a wedding or something. Who knows?
Yeah. This will be
'cause those
Shadowrun
are-
soon, I promise.
Those are never fiascos.
Right? Okay. Here. All right. Let's start bringing in some of the Shadowrun element, right? So the strange relationship. I can make Cassie and I a shaman or an initiate. I don't want to do stalker or stalky. I think that's gonna cult members of interest to a dragon, knight errant detective and fugitive, or fellow foreigners. I actually kind of like the knight errant detective and fugitive. So
Yeah.
I think that
I like
already
that
starts.
one, and I like the cult members too. I think those are my favorites.
I like cult member 2, but I don't know if I necessarily want to burn the 3 doing it. So
Oh, okay. Fair
I'm gonna
enough.
go with. I think it'll be fun to add some stuff. So knight errant detective and fugitive.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Oh, now who's who is the?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know yet, but one of us is the detective and one of us is the fugitive. All right, so Cassie, you can
Yes.
either define the relationship between yourself and Bobby, or start setting down needs, locations, and objects between either of us.
Okay.
Oh. I thought you were dead.
Oh gosh. So I kind of. Oh man, if it was like between one of the other, Greg or Oz, I would have chosen former lovers, for the but I can't. So
Yeah. I think a former lover's enemy relationship would have too many
Too many complications.
relationships. Too many
That's not a thing in Fiasco. I don't know what you're talking about. There's no such
However-
thing as too many.
I think it would distract, is what I mean.
However, I do like let's see, we got two of us. I kind of want to do prank war. That's what I'm going with.
Okay, so we're enemies because there's a prank war going on between us?
Yeah, it is an ever-escalating prank war.
Maybe you're a knight errant detective and it's an office prank war.
Well, so funny enough, the prank war, that was a inspiration from the Shadowrun book, from Data Trails. That's like one of those things that's between the Matrix characters. So maybe you have a prank war over the Matrix.
Nice.
Possibly. All right, Bobby, do you want to define the illicit relationship between yourself and Greg, or do we want to start setting down some needs, locations, and objects?
Let's see. I don't feel like I have enough of a grasp on what's going on here to want to quite say what our illicit relationship is yet. Like,
I feel you.
I feel like it's got to be good.
Yeah.
So let's look at needs. Needs are always good. So I need. This is a need that's shared between. Oh well, there's an. But that would use that number 3.
To get even.
Yeah, I was gonna think to get even between. It could be between me and Cassie. It seems to make sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, take that 3.
Yeah, let's take the 3. So Cassie and I have strong urge to get even with each other, between each other. So.
All right.
I'm excited.
Why? Why might that be?
Okay, so we've got that going. Let me go ahead and put need as the main. Okay, Greg, would you like to define the illicit relationship between you and Bobby, or would you like to set a need, location, or object between us?
I'm setting an object. Bobby and I have a trouble object. 5.
All right.
A trouble object. Oh man, I gotta take a look at what those are. Oh gosh. there's some good ones.
Okay, come on, roll 20. Work with me, baby. Too big. Let me see. There we go. Yeah. Wait. What? How did I accomplish this?
Oh my gosh. Number 4 in trouble is a newborn baby. Oh my god.
Oh.
Somebody take that 4 before it gets around again.
I've got my eye on that number 4.
All right. I think we should have another need on this side of the table. So let's see. We're an engaged family. One of us, we're engaged.
Yes.
We have I'm either a detective or a fugitive. I'm thinking because of the prank war, maybe Cassie's the fugitive. So
yeah, I'm feeling I have a feling that you're a detective, and I'm definitely keeping this relationship with Bobby a huge secret.
Yeah, you're basically the you're basically the Heisenberg of this relationship. So why don't we make our needs? Let's see. We can do either to keep secret, Oh, that you're a double agent potential. Okay, no.
Ooh.
Or just to get rich. To get rich is so dull. What about to get power?
I mean, I like to get power.
Don't we
Right? Or to get laid.
It's a family show.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah, what? Wait a minute, I didn't sign up for no family show.
Okay, just gonna. You know what? I think let's use the 4. Let's use to get power. Let's be a power couple.
Yeah, we are defo the power couple.
Okay.
To get power.
Oh man, I really want it. I really want it by ridding the world of the supernatural, man.
Oh man. So
right.
I'm gonna take a 6 there.
Mhm.
I'm going to set an object between Oz and myself. And it's gonna be a.
Wait,
a
we should have a
object. Oh, is it my
location.
Are you sure? Do we have an? Oh, we already have an object. Okay,
yeah.
hold on for a second.
Yeah, location should be the last one. There should always be.
Oh, I see. I
The
think
suggestion is
that-
always 2 needs, 1 object, 1 location.
Okay, then I'm gonna choose number. Oh man. Okay, so I could do a corporate or a nightlife,
Remember, you're a
public
fugitive
services.
and detective. And I think we're starting to tease out that Oz is the detective. So
Right. So now
Okay.
we can start thinking a little bit more of like what is exactly the storyline that we're establishing right now. But,
so Oz
yeah,
is
but
Oz
you
is
can
a
just go ahead and
detective.
set
He's
a-
trying to move up in the force because there's a power relationship going on. He's trying to get that promotion.
Okay. So my I've narrowed it down to public services or nightlife. That's the
Nightlife is so good.
Elsewhere in
I
the world
think,
is pretty good
Services.
too. Could be.
I think that I'm gonna choose. I think I'm gonna. You know what? I'll choose nightlife. I'll take the 2.
Nightlife.
We'll do that.
All right.
Because I mean, the easy choice would be public services, but I think the nightlife will be more fun.
All right. So this is a location that is important to our relationship somehow. All right. Buddy.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4.
As a reminder, all right. So we're in the last
You got to put
round.
that 6. You got to put that 6 back.
What happened? What
You
did
took
I do?
the 6 at first, but then things changed.
What do you mean?
There
I
are
took out a
5
6 without.
There are 5 open spots
Yeah.
and only 4 dice. It was because Cassie first said
Yeah,
she
I
was
was
going to take
gonna
that
say.
6 for something, and she changed her.
Oh, I see.
her
So
mind.
I
Yeah.
changed it to a 2. Okay, so I'll put a 6 there in the place of the 2. All right.
There you go,
So,
No, we
you
should have a 6 and a 2. We have 5 spots left.
Yeah.
The 2
the
is
2
the
should also
nightlife.
be there.
I see.
When she
There's
said
an
she wanted the
additional
6,
2.
you took the 6. Yeah,
Yeah.
there should be a 2 and 2 6s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So imagine there's a 2. What a.
Okay.
Yeah. What would you? How would you like to define either the trouble object or the need to get even?
Oh, geez. Let's see. Let's go with gosh. Well, someone took my baby option. So. But I do like what remains of the corpse. What if our trouble object, Greg, was what remains of the corpse?
Yep.
I think that sounds awesome.
Oh no.
Or okay. So you're thinking of a need, right? Let's think ahead. You're thinking of a need. Is that need that you were thinking of before still there?
Hey, buddy,
the supernatural.
know.
What if you wanted to
It
get rid of the
absolutely is.
supernatural, and we happen to have a crate full of techno critters?
Hey, something to note though, if you still are kind of married to the newborn baby thing, you're the last one to choose next round, and the last one is a wild, so you don't necessarily lose the 4.
I'm not married to it. I like a crate full of techno critters that we happen to have.
Yeah,
All right.
that's real good.
Yeah, so that's the number 5. You'll take a 5 die.
Okay, so I'll swap the 5 over to a 2 that we have, and then you have a crate full of techno critters. Oh god. Which actually, you know what, pairs really well with your prank war with Cassie.
That's right. You know, I ordered bed bugs, but I didn't realize I was getting awakened bed bugs.
All right, Greg.
Oh man.
So now that we're in the last round, I think we can also start fucking with each other a little bit here. So, you're not necessarily tied to just our need to get power, unless you have a very, you have an interesting idea.
Radio.
I'm torn. I am very torn. But I think I'm going to define the illicit relationship.
Oh yeah, we just have to do that. Nice.
I'm going to take the 6, and we are partners in the perfect crime, which somehow is involved with this crate full of techno critters. I think we pulled off the perfect crime to get it.
Yes.
Oh man.
I'm in. I'm all in.
All right, Bobby is very clearly a Shadowrunner.
Yeah.
Matrix Shadowrunner, of course, seems like. Oh my god. All right, back over to me. So I can either define the nightlife or the need to get power or that need to get even over there. Okay, we have a 1, a 2, and a 6. So let me look at the location out of curiosity and see if that spurs anything. We have Dante's Inferno nightclub, Mr. Johnson's Shady Corner, or a BTL den.
I feel like that's
Mr.
awesome.
Johnson's Shady Corner sounds like the name of the porn that I was working on a script for.
Right. Or if I focused on the need to get power, by using your body as a vessel, by ridding the world of the supernatural, by researching a specific spell.
What if you did like the need for that specific spell over with Bobby and with me and Bobby? That would be pretty funny.
By researching a specific spell.
I gotta get rid of these fucking techno critters, man. Ruining my life. Keep eating all of my all my comments.
I don't know if I necessarily. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go. I don't know, right? I'm gonna focus on the location.
Okay.
I think I like BTL Den.
Nice.
Right? Because something about, like, again, where I'm getting a lot of like Matrix related stuff going on, so I think I'm gonna just go ahead and keep that theme going.
Do
All right,
it.
so I'm spending the 6 on BTL Den.
Okay, so I've got
A 1 and a 2.
1, 2, and we've got the to get power 1 over there, and the.
Well, you would be doing the to get even between us,
To
right?
get even. I might, or I might not. All right, let's see. You know what? You know what? I think I am gonna do the to get even. I think I'll take that too. Even with those who least who suspect it least. I think I'm gonna do that.
All right.
Okay. All right, Bobby, the last die is wild. So you get to define the need to get power between myself and Greg.
Okay. I also like by ridding the world of the supernatural. It feels very over the top, and I love over the top.
How the fuck? All right, we'll figure it out.
There you go.
Here we go.
All right,
Yay!
and so we have our table. Now we get to name our characters, kind of understand them a little bit better, and we have like a couple of minutes really to just kind of discuss what we're seeing for ourselves and like how we fit into the story.
Right. So, I mean, there's obviously the prank war between Cassie and myself, and we're both criminals. I feel like we have to both be criminals. And somehow my character also got involved with Greg's character, who has at least, if not a legitimate job, at least the veneer of one. And maybe I needed a legitimate person to pull off this perfect crime. But I feel like me and Cassie are certainly both criminals.
Yeah.
Well, Cassie definitely is. She's a fugitive.
Yep.
Cassie, what did you do? Why are you on the run?
Oh man. So I think that one of the pranks that I pulled on you went horribly great.
went south real fast, huh?
Yeah, went horribly great, and I think that I ended up destroying part of an arcology in the process.
You're not just a fugitive, you're like a terrorist fugitive.
I like that actually. I like being able to label the person I'm after a terrorist. Nice. So I'm hunting a terrorist.
Yeah.
Terrorist Cassie. And I guess maybe you're funded by a beetle den or by the people that run a beetle den.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a great idea.
So maybe we can think of like somebody in the world of Shadowrun. Whoa, wait, hold on. Radio Free Supplies. Bunraku outcall prank deliveries would have been what I came up with.
Oh man, that sounds great.
I mean, that counts too. That's one of the steps in the prank war.
Right. This is clearly an escalating process if it's gotten to destroying part of an arcology.
That's definitely what Bobby did to Cassie, and then Cassie responded with destroying part of an arcology.
Always got to take it a step further there.
You know, go big or go home.
What's your character's name, Cassie?
My character's name is Hijinks.
Hijinks.
Is it Jinx with an X or?
Oh, you know
KS?
it. It's gotta be with the X, because that's cool, right?
Yeah.
That's Wiz.
Yeah, that is for sure.
All right. So for sure, you're what? You're a Decker, Technomancer. What are we thinking?
I think being a Decker would be better because like techno critters would totally just like ruin my day.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got Hijinks, the Decker.
My character's name is Tom Foolery.
Okay. Tom Foolery, like Full.
Sure.
Yeah.
Foolery. It doesn't matter. It's when
I
you
know what
say
you
it.
mean. I know what the pun is, but
Yeah.
I didn't know if we were trying to
spell
make
it how you wish.
Yes. I don't know what my name is yet, but I know I'm for sure a knight errant detective, so I'll go ahead and write that down as my description. And Greg, what are you seeing for yourself here?
So I put my name in the Discord.
Oh, I'm not looking at it. Just tell me what it is.
Dragan.
Dragan, Dragan, Saturninus. You gotta love those random generators. Love it.
Easy to pronounce.
Yeah.
Rolls right off the tongue. Saturninus.
Saturninus. Look, it's a family name. I'm going to change it once I'm married.
That's been the plan all along.
That's been the plan the entire time.
Wow.
That sounds like a mage. But
yeah. So I think that I'm definitely magic-y.
And you want to get rid of the supernatural?
Yeah, because it's my family no end of problem. It's always cursed. Everything always goes wrong. Like, magic always has a price, and after centuries, the price has just taken a toll. Like, I can look back through my family history and, like, hunted, burned, died, sacrificed, sold soul. Like, this is a bad family history.
So do you have, like, the mage equivalent of gremlins?
Yes.
Literal gremlins.
Yes.
Yeah, literal gremlins.
And I think that the perfect crime that Tom approached me with the idea, like, hey, we can, like, we're on a path, like, and it was mostly a lie, to, like, find a couple of artifacts to, like, alter the whole magic supernatural thing. Like, hey, this will wipe everything out. And instead, we ended up with a crate full of technocritters, which is what I think you actually wanted.
Right.
And not at all what I was told. But, like, I had used all the magic and all the crap to get, like, nobody knows we did this.
Right.
Period, except for the two of us. And I'm pretty pissed that the thing that we got was not at all the thing that was promised.
Right. And it was what I intended, because as a criminal, I am a con artist, so we can change that. That's my description, as a con artist.
Con artist? All right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Con artist. All right. And then for me, detective name generator. I like this. Luke Shields.
Yes!
Detective Shields.
I'm excited for that new last name once we get married.
Dragon Shields! Yes!
I certainly didn't manipulate you into falling in love with me through magic to make this happen. That is absolutely not what happened at all.
Not.
You're not going to go hyphenated? It's not going to be Saturninus Shields?
Shields, no. No.
So, of interest for me, though, here, the need between us to get rid of the supernatural, is it because we both, like, I guess I have to be perfectly aware that you are a mage, and...
Yes. Well, I think also, like, let's face it, people throwing fireballs around makes the detective job harder, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
like,
maybe I have like
makes your job harder.
You get all that ectoplasm everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's just everywhere you come home reeking of some foreign ghost. Not into it.
Yeah, I just want it to be like the good old days on old action trids.
Yeah.
From the Fifth World.
Like, are you addicted to old cop shows?
Oh, of course.
Like,
you watch a lot of Columbo.
Look at how easy that was.
Nice.
Look at how easy it was back then.
I don't know how we're gonna get rid of the supernatural exactly, but you know.
Look, I'm working on it.
We're gonna figure it out. We're working on it. There was a plan, and who knows? Is there anything else?
There was a plan.
Is there anything else that we need to define here?
I don't think so. I think
That's
to
like-
get even with those who suspect it least, that seems to be the only thing that's.
So I think that
Because I feel like getting even with me is who would suspect it most.
yeah, I think that I would probably you think you've had this perfect crime, but I found out that you were dealing with this stupid mage. And he has no, everything went great. Now I find out.
With the techno critters, I was trying to get a crate full of awakened beetles, and so I went to the beetle den.
Right.
It was the wrong kind, I just, misheard someone. It was that kind of beetle. Sorry.
Listen, that kind of beetle. So, because I can't necessarily get revenge on like the KE detective because he knows he's looking for me. But yeah, so it might be the mage after a little while. It might come out differently as we play the game. I'm not sure.
I know. What if to get even with those who suspect it least is with the techno critters? To get even with the techno critters.
Yeah, there we go.
Like the prank has already been sprung, and now we're just stuck with this crate full of techno critters.
Yeah,
And,
the leftovers.
Are you threatening to hurt my sweet babies?
I've gone through
You didn't want them,
I did want them.
but you
I
fell
love
in
them
love
now.
with them.
I've named them all. They're all named Bobby.
All right.
I like it. Yes, I've gone through this is my third deck, and I swear to God, if I have to get a fourth, I'm gonna blow up a Radio Shack.
All right, so are we ready to move on to Act 1?
Yeah, I think so. Oh, actually, last thing we should do is we should also establish our meta types since this is Shadowrun.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
I'm gonna bring some dwarf love into this. I'm gonna be a dwarven KE detective.
Nice. Ooh.
I mean, if you're a dwarf, definitely I'm an elf then, because Lokar fan fiction's real.
I'll be a boring human.
Let's see. I think that I'll be. I don't know, man. I totally just blinked out. I don't know. I'll be whatever you want me to be.
What if you were just an AI?
Oh shoot, that's even more dangerous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
A satyr. Supla says you're a satyr.
That works too.
You know what? That could be maybe I have a robot body. I don't know.
Yeah, you could be a robot.
Or maybe a robot with a satyr skin.
No wonder you're so mad about the techno critters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's my latest form.
Yeah. Do you have multiple bodies, which is how you keep escaping from the detective? Because you don't actually exist. You just keep downloading into new areas.
Yeah. That's pretty much. That's what.
So you are an AI that uses robots. Oh my god.
All right.
And you know what's great about Fiasco? No complicated rules for AI.
That's right. That's right. All right, so we're going to go into Act 1 now that we've established everything. Fiasco takes place in 4 stages. There's Act 1, the tilt, Act 2, and the aftermath. And Act 1 and Act 2 both take place in 8 scenes that we play out each, so a total of 16 scenes. Basically, the tilt, just to give you the idea, the tilt is where we do kind of this process that we did, but shortened, to figure out, how things change and the Fiasco really starts to take form. and then the aftermath is just our epilogue. But for now, Act 1. 8 scenes are about to commence. Each of us will be setting up 2 scenes in Act 1 at certain times. We each have the option to either establish or resolve a scene. If someone establishes a scene, that means that that person gets to choose the content of the scene. They get to set it up, people, place, conflict, etc. And they can do that as they wish. However, in this case, the resolution of the scene is decided by others. Namely, this is where the chat room comes in. When we do this on the Stream-a-Thon, we have the chat room decide what the resolution will be. And the way you decide that basically is after we go through a scene for a minute or two, I will either in the chat or verbally out loud, someone will say, okay, let's start thinking about it, chat room, and start voting. And you guys are gonna vote for whether you want this scene to end good or bad for the person who established it. And then we'll just sort of tally up the consensus, and then that's how we must end the scene, either good or bad for the player who established it. The primary limitation on this, which won't really probably come into play for Act 1, but will in Act 2, is that whenever a scene ends good or badly, a black or white die has to be assigned. That person gets to, for Act 1, that person gets to give the white or black die to someone that they wish to. So basically what I'm saying is that you have to have white or black die available in order for it to end good or bad. And we have plenty at the beginning here. So you can also, I forgot how we do this with the chat room, Oz, maybe you can help me. How do we do it if we decide to resolve a scene? Do we let the chat set it up, or do we just, or do we just let, like the way you normally do it?
Yeah, so resolve would be
all of us set it up.
Yeah, resolve would be the allowing the table to come up with something, and they are included in the table, so they can help.
So yeah,
resolve.
So the opposite of establishing is resolving a scene, where you can decide to do that, and that's where you let everybody else set it up, and you get to decide whether it's going to end good or bad. Therefore, kind of choosing which of the white or black die you get. The white or black die come into play at the end. Or actually in the tilt too, but we collect those and they matter later. In either case, that's how it happens. So that's what we do. So here's the first scene.
Does anybody have this is the most obvious possible scene to start on for themselves?
Which one?
Does anybody want to suggest a scene? Or do we just want to resolve right away and have Chad help out? But does anybody have anything that like sticks out to them as this is an obvious first scene for my character?
Yes. I think I'm meeting with Tom.
All right. Okay, so you're establishing the scene. So go ahead and set the tone and the mood and the place. And what it's about.
I think we're at the storage pods where the crate full of techno critters are.
Yeah.
And I've called you over there to discuss this problem. Because promises were made.
Yeah, and just so we know, as we move forward, we try to stick to around 5 minutes for each scene, so that we make sure we get through it in time. But so we're at the storage place where, I guess, looking over this crate of techno critters.
Yeah, so I told you the time to be there, and then I show up 5 minutes later so I can make an entrance.
Right.
So I sweep in with I'm wearing a long overcoat with the collar popped up and a hat pulled down, so people obviously can't see me and I don't look shady.
I'm pacing back and forth looking at this crate of techno critters, of assorted techno critters.
Thomas.
Dragon. What's up?
Dragan.
Dragan. You said that before. I'm sorry.
We have a problem, don't we?
Well, I mean, we've. They're sitting right here. Where do you? Yes, we have to figure out what we're gonna do with these.
Something tells me, Thomas, that you already had a plan in place for these.
What? Look. We were trying to do the thing.
The thing?
Yeah. you said you needed a crate of beetles.
I did.
I got us a crate of beetles.
Thomas, I was very specific that they were Egyptian scarabs, not beetles.
Look, beetles. I'm not an ornithologist or an.
Did you not even open up my PowerPoint? I clearly labeled them and gave you pictures.
Oh, I did try to do that, but my subscription, my free subscription on that PowerPoint program ran out, and so I figured it was you would have if it was beetles. What are beetles?
So how are we going to rectify this? I still don't have what I need.
Yeah, well, this is a problem because we can't take them anywhere.
Correct.
We can't even put them in a car because they start shutting off the radio and the auto navigation, and the last time we did that didn't go well. We could flush them down the toilet. Why don't we do that?
We cannot flush them down the toilet, Thomas.
You keep saying that, but I don't know. That's what people do. Like, you find a bug and you smash it and you flush it down the toilet.
Okay, have you not heard about the gigantic alligators and crocodiles that from people who thought, I'll just flush it down the toilet? Those problems grow exponentially, and I didn't cover our tracks so that you can flush our futures down the toilet with your mistake.
Okay, that's fair. We could find someone. We could sell them to somebody. I don't know.
Now that's interesting.
No, it's about this time, chat. You guys want to start telling us whether it should end good or bad for. I guess Greg set up the scene.
Yeah,
so.
Since Greg established the scene, this is a Greg scene. So we have to decide whether it's going to end well or badly for his character. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean right away. This could be this isn't going to go well for you in the long term, buddy.
Yeah.
So it's very vague, but it should still. Anyway, you'll be able to tell. So yeah, we already have one vote for a black die for bad. But
so sellers, I have ideas, but do you have somebody lined up?
I don't have anybody lined up, but I've heard. Oh, I can. I feel like it's good. People are only saying bad right now, so or we only have one vote for bad. So I think the most.
Well, we can also help too in selecting, right? For example, for me, my opinion of this right now is it's going well for Greg in the sense that. Yeah. He's trying to ensure, for Dragan's trying to ensure, and he kind of has Bobby by the balls right now.
Right.
Yes.
So we could, because everybody is in the chat wants it to be bad, but the way we could spin that is I'm gonna say, okay, Dragan, I do have somebody I've heard of a place that might take care. I can take care of this for us. Let me fix this. I can fix this.
I'm trusting you again, Thomas.
Yeah.
And then I light my hand on fire.
Oh.
So, as a reminder,
if
this gets back to me,
look, the only thing
I won't go down alone. You know who I'm marrying.
you like to bring that up, but okay. Look, message received. I've got this. Beetles, they're gonna get taken care of. Okay, I'll give you a call.
Make it happen.
Okay, I've got it. And I put the lid back on the crate, and I'd say you wanna go first, or we probably shouldn't go at the same time out this place.
I always go first.
Right.
And I sweep out.
Yep.
All right.
That's my husband
Scene.
for sure. Sweep. All right, great. So, all right. So now we have Greg. So you have a black die.
Yep.
Trust me, that
But-
was a bad idea. That will go bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, it will. I mean, gee, trust the person that already messed
They
the whole
screwed
thing
up.
up. Yeah, that's gonna end well.
That's great.
So, what would you like to do with the black die? You get to give it away to another character.
Oh,
If you
I'm
want to-
absolutely giving that to Tom.
Let's do it.
All right.
Oh man, it's great.
All right. So, Bobby, you now have a black die. Pink. All right. And now we move on to scene 2. Any ideas?
Oh man.
Okay, actually, I
Hold
think
on.
So, did we just establish, if I'm correct in this, the crate full of techno critters came out of the BTL den? Like that's where you stole them
We
from?
have not established that, and I
No,
think
we haven't
that's
established that yet.
Where, I think
Well-
that's where Tom is. That's how it's going to go bad. So
Is that where Tom's gonna take him to?
I think so. I think so. I don't want to spoil.
Why do I
I don't want to
trust
spoil
you?
it, but
That sounds amazing.
Well, why don't you set that? Why don't you do that scene then?
okay. Well, sure.
So we don't know where
I will,
the crate of techno critters. We still don't know where it came from. Or are
No.
you just trying to sell it right back to the beetle den?
Right. So who's this scene gonna be? Anybody? Who else is gonna be in this scene? I'm gonna go. Tom grabs up the crate, and he knows that there's one nearby because he lives in this neighborhood. It's a beetle den, and he's never been there before. Nor does he understand what beetles are.
Oh man.
BTLs. And he's gonna go there because he wanted to pick somewhere nearby because of previously discussed problems with transporting these things. So
Maybe that's one of Hijinks's side gigs.
yeah.
Testing out beetles. Maybe that'll be a profitable way for me to make money, so I can continue my prank war.
Yeah,
Those robot
That sounds
bodies
good.
are not cheap.
Yeah.
yeah, your prank wars are not. So I've got this crate under my arm, and I'm walking very briskly down the street, and I get up to the BTL den. What is Hijinks doing right now at the den?
Oh, Hijinks right now is plotting. Hijinks has successfully written several new beetles, practicing programming themselves, and is now testing out the new chips on her staff and seeing how they work out.
Oh, this is gonna go well.
All right. All right. So I walk up to the door, and it's one of those metal doors with like the thing you pull, like, and but he bangs on the door, dung 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 dung. Someone's gonna have to play the doorman. Dun, dun, dun.
Password.
I have beetles for sale.
I think the eyes like look down at the crate and opens the door.
That's right. That's right. There's a whole box of these things. You're gonna like these ones too. They're special. They do some crazy stuff on the matrix and electronics and stuff. These are some special beetles right here.
Oh man.
I'm gonna need to talk to your top beetle expert.
Just
Right
get
now.
inside.
Okay, I'm coming.
Oh man.
Are they
So
gonna-
yeah.
Like you get escorted down like a impossibly long set of stairs and into like this den, and just at that point he just points and leaves and heads back up to the door. Like,
Yeah, and so the
figure it out, bud.
Yeah, I'll take the boss. So the entire place is just littered with a bunch of like passed out bodies that are like in the middle of BTL trips. The place smells like shit because like they haven't even gone to the bathroom in their BTL haze. And at the very edge is a woman who is currently connected to the Matrix via Trodes, but she's just like watching you, and she just
Yeah, this is an interesting place. You do a lot of beetle selling here. There's a lot of people here for beetles. Hey, what's up? I've got a deal to make. I need to talk to your top beetle expert here because these are some special ones. And I smack the top of the box. And it moves a little bit.
I'm merely a representative for a higher power, referencing hijinks.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I can behave as a mouthpiece if you wish.
I need to. You listen.
Behave as a mouthpiece.
These things are very ornery beetles, and they're not to be messed around with. I need to speak directly to the. This is some crazy stuff in this box. You don't want me leaving this here because there will be bad things will happen. All right,
From the back room, I can hear him starting to shout. I'm looking at like my 3 volunteers. They're like all passed out. One of them's bleeding from the nose, so that one probably didn't work out so great. Probably need to have a cleanup crew back here. Oh well. Well, and then I realized what voice it is. I was like, why is he here? So.
We're getting some votes for good that
I know.
turned out good for me.
Interesting. I would have gone with bad, but okay.
Right.
Well, I mean, the definition of good is that he unloads the crate.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much.
Still not a good thing.
Yeah.
So, my name is Credenza, and she just like immediately contacts her superior hijinks,
No.
and says, "Would these techno critters serve your higher purpose?"
I haven't told. They're beetles. Do you know that they're techno critters? I just keep saying beetles to people who sell BTLs.
Oh, because they're moving around, but I don't. But you haven't seen. I have to see them. Okay, fine. So Credenza would go, "I wish to see the product."
Oh, geez, really? Like you? Is there a special room that you use to open up crates of beetles? Because every time I try to open them up, like things get a little crazy, and there's a whole. Sometimes there's a mess. It takes me a long time to get these things back in the box.
No, I believe right here is fine.
Jesus. Oh my god.
Look around. Yeah. Maybe I need to see some of that money up front first because I can't promise what's going to happen in a second.
Oh no.
Very well. And she sends a message, and then like same crony that walked you in, the one run by Greg, will say like carrying like a whole stack of cred sticks.
Oh, wow. Yeah. This might cover some of it. Sure, thanks for that. Okay. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at these things. Let's take a look.
Oh my god. I'm gonna destroy my shop.
And so I'm gonna crack it a little bit. Well, here, perhaps it's best if you here you can take a look, and I hand it to Credenza, and I back up a little bit and wait.
Yes, and Credenza opens the crate, unleashing all of these different techno critters. Do we know what's in the crate?
They literally are beetles.
Yeah, they're beetles.
Awakened
they're,
beetles.
Yeah.
They're like techno beetles.
Yeah.
Oh god, they're like German cockroaches.
Yeah, I've warned you. Okay,
Ugh.
I told you we should go into a different room. These people we're gonna need to. We can't fumigate. Okay, my partner is really attached to these things, so now we're gonna have to pick them all up. If I have to go back and say that, do not flush them down the toilet. Okay.
So
will be
as
hell
you're
to
speaking, Credenza's freaking out, and she's as like all of these these techno beetles like just start pouring out like mummy style out of this crate, and all of these poor souls, including Credenza and her bodyguard, just start getting like. And then everybody just like falls down and dies, leaving you with a stack of breadsticks.
Is that the good ending?
Good for me because now I'm able to leave. I'm like, I will have my people contact your people for the rest of that payment. Well, we'll take care of it now. And I take the breadsticks out of their pockets, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Thank you, and goodbye.
You're not even speaking to anybody else there. Everybody's just convulsing, and you've like single-handedly destroyed a beetle den.
Just like destroyed the whole destroying my life's work.
End of scene. End of scene. I'm gonna give that white die that I get for that to I'm gonna give it to Oz because Oz I really liked Credenza.
Poor Credenza, so dead.
Oh man.
All right, so
okay.
Between Cassie or myself,
that escalated quickly. I feel like
a bunch of people are dead in this beetle den.
Yeah. So I think,
scene 2.
I think that I guess I can go next. It seems like a good choice. Because I gotta get the fuck out of this beetle den before I die.
And how do we want to frame that scene? Like, who do you want to set it up with?
Oh gosh. So I think that I'm going to set it up with you, Oz.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that this is an appropriate time to perhaps get your attention on a tragedy that I didn't cause this time.
This time.
And obviously, and making an anonymous tip that there's a beetle den and people are dying, and hopefully you'll be bringing some of your tech stuff, and it'll also get destroyed as you try to clean up this mess. That's my new plan.
Got it.
So I see I hear Tom yelling. Oh gosh, do we? So yeah, I'm setting the scene. So yeah, it's fine. So I hear Tom yelling about beetles, and I immediately am suspicious. But before I am able to tell Credenza to stop and not to trust this asshole, the box gets open. I see that Credenza and my door butler are convulsing now. My newest creations are spasming on the floor, and then I see Tom steal my cred sticks and just run out. I'm like, Tom! That's it.
Gotcha.
This prank war just escalated to a whole nother level. Oh shit! I need to get out of here if I want to exact my revenge. So I hit my lockdown button, so that way the everything protects me, hopefully, from these beetles before they go in and they jack up all of my stuff and I can't get away. So So I run out of my destroyed and leaving the 3 volunteers to their fate. By the way, they're not my problem now. I have bigger issues that I need to work on. And so as I'm getting back into my body, I jack back into my satyr and I start running out of the door, little metallic hooves clippy clopping as I make my escape.
Very inconspicuously.
Yeah, and as I'm running, I tap the side of my head and place a comm call to my favorite detective I have on speed dial, because we have that kind of relationship.
Just gonna taunt him.
Yeah, we have a catch me if you can relationship. All right.
Detective Shields.
Yes. So, I imagine that I have a special ringtone that I put onto your phone for when I call you. It's just like cackling laughter.
All right, so I look at my phone, cackling laughter. And Luke Shields immediately picks up the phone and says, "What did you do this time?"
This time I didn't do anything this time. And you hear like my running kind of like the equivalent of metallic breathing heavy, because that's what you do apparently when you run.
It sounds like a harmonica.
Yeah, stop faking it. What? You were behind something else yet again.
Nope, not me, not this time. There's beetles everywhere, and not the good kind.
Then what do you want? And he waves behind him where Hijinks would not be able to see, and there's like a team of knight errant that are starting to trace the call.
Yeah.
Keep her on the phone.
Right, exactly.
Well, the chat is starting to say a good ending for Hijinks, so.
Excellent. A good ending for Hijinks is a bad ending for my nemesis. It's okay. I'm okay with this. It's like there's a beetle den behind Mr. Johnson's shady corner, and things just got real. You better send a group there, because I'm not sticking around for it.
And what makes you think I should trust you? You're a terrorist.
All those
innocent people that died.
People are dying, and there's BDL chips everywhere. You probably want to go in and get a team to collect them all. The usual problems. Not my problem, your problem.
And so you care. Damn it! Did we trace the call? And the knight errant officers look up and they're like, "No."
It's the guys with the things in their ears, and they're like hanging over, and they look up and they're like,
yeah, like one of them rips off their headset and slams it on the table and says, "Damn it!
We almost had her."
That's not my fault. I need you on the uptake. Trace faster next time.
A white die, Cassie.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna pass it over to I think I'm gonna pass it over to Bobby, because that was a pretty good move. Like, even though Hijinks hates him, like, that was a really good prank, and I would not have thought of something like that. So he's just kind of upped his game. So now I have to figure out a way to get him back.
That's right.
I love that the mass death of people is a prank.
Yeah.
I mean,
she did blow up in arcology.
Comparably, yes.
All right.
AIs think about pranks a little differently, I guess.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and the last scene for this round is mine. So obviously I need to establish Luke Shields arriving at the BTL den and collecting evidence. And I think, should I I think I'd like to. Greg? What do you think about if I invite Dragan over for some magic?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Magic surveillance. All right.
Create a little dramatic tension.
Yeah, and just to establish like our relationship, you know.
Right.
All right.
So, like, you realize that when they said beetles, they meant techno critters, and you have like 3 deckers there, and all of these people trying to that are gonna catalog all these beetles, and then it turns out they're techno critters. Now you need you need somebody who's not affected by that to help out.
Yeah. Now all the Decker's decks are broken, and
Yeah, and I realize. Yeah, no, and I realize like yes, we know this fugitive is she's hijinks is dangerous. Dragan. She's haunted. This thing has haunted my career for the past 3 years. She's been on the top of knight errant wanted lists.
I gave the last detective a heart attack because he had a pacemaker.
Yeah. Oh my god. All those people, Dragan. All those people, they're dead.
And you're working on a
more
promotion,
dying.
right? The chief is going to have you in his office. He's going to have your ass.
Darling, calm down.
He like tugs on the bottom half of your robes because he's a dwarf and just buries his head in your lap.
No, we can handle this. It's a problem, but we've cleaned up worse problems.
Oh my god.
How do we want?
I just
I obviously can't tell the truth, so how do you want me to handle the media?
honestly, Knight Errant will just do what it always does: sweep it under the rug. What matters to me is finding this son of a bitch hijinks. Come with me to the Beetle Den. Well,
I'm in the area, so of course.
Yes, I. Like, let's go of your robe. It's like, yes, yes, oh look, we're here.
I'm in the area. You've been there the whole time.
We don't need to talk about that. I've been here and it was just around the corner. We don't need that. We don't need that drama right now.
And
they're planning a wedding, and yeah.
I squeak open the entrance into this beetle den, and I lead Dragan down.
Chat wants it to go good for Detective Shields.
Okay. I lead him down into this this den of the, as Radio Free put it, the smell of flesh being that has been seared and burnt out by the chipjacks, along with all the piss and shit.
Ugh.
And
I think upon entering and seeing the things crawling around, I go paler.
Are you sensing the evil juju?
The horror.
Evil juju.
Oh, this is great.
I could light it on fire.
I don't think Knight Errant would appreciate it. What's
Get
this?
everybody out.
What is this? And he like plucks out a beetle off the floor, and it's like squiggling. Is this some
Like
kind
wander over and just like start setting things on fire.
What are you doing? Don't do this, Dragan.
But I'm getting rid of the problem. I'm sweeping it under the rug. You don't want to spend all day collecting these things, do you?
I see. All right. burn it down. Burn it all down to the ground.
Oh.
He keeps this one teeny beetle and puts it in a little evidence bag. And gives it just enough air to survive.
I go and check the bathrooms.
Oh my god.
When you turn on the light, all of the beetles scatter. And
Go on, darling. You don't want to be here. This is going to get hot.
And he goes up the stairs, calls and basically reports that the beetle den was rigged by the evil terrorist hijinks to go up in flames upon investigation.
And then, you can hear somebody screaming inside, like a bloody, just a string of obscenities, and then there's a giant explosion, and I wander up out of the stairs. Darling, we have a food tasting at 3. We should get going.
Oh my god.
All right. I could use taking my mind off of things. I'm a haunted man, Jorgan. I'm a haunted man.
I know. You're so dark and mysterious. We'll deal with that tonight.
Who gets the white die? Who gets the white die?
I believe that I'm giving it to my husband, my soon-to-be husband, Jorgan. That's so good.
For sure.
It's so dark and mysterious. Like, that just sold it.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, we each have one more scene to finish out Act 1.
Yes. All right. So we get to. How do we want to establish or resolve the next scene?
I think I am going to try to get in touch with Hijinks.
Okay. I like it.
Because I'm very angry.
That all of these techno critters have been loosed.
Like the one thing that was not supposed to happen.
Are you getting in touch with Hijinks or Tom?
Hijinks, because
oh yeah,
because you're on the list now, buddy.
So you turned everyone against me.
Do you do this via the phone, that Luke's phone at the food tasting?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
All right, so we're in like a totally we're in a nice classy food tasting.
Yeah, absolutely. We are getting to the cake tasting part. Like, we've had a good meal at this point.
Okay.
Little tiny plates, tiny bite-sized foods.
Yeah, like little tastings, but I mean, like, we're talking like, I really like the steak. It's quite delicious. We should have a vegetarian option, don't you think, darling? For my family, at least.
Yeah, probably should, but man, isn't it amazing the difference that soyless meat tastes like? Wow.
Uh-oh.
Oh, back up. I missed that last part. Everything slowed for me for a quick
Gotcha. So essentially, he's just wolfing down on actual real meat, little tiny meat cubes. Yes. The one that's been served to him.
It's the top everything. I must say, this has been a fabulous meal. And I'm sort of constantly checking like my communication device, because I've been like sending out like just pings to find like information about Tom.
You're just posting to like like some forums being like, hey, I know a guy named Tom that needs some.
I have a problem, and it's a Tom.
I have a problem with it.
I'm looking for tomfoolery.
So yeah, I will. Because I am currently trying to determine where Tom is and what he's doing and who he's partnered with to try to destroy my work and steal my money. So I see this. I have a problem, and its name is Tom, and I feel a kindred spirit. So. So I backtrace where the posts came from. I find this. I find the comm information, and I send a message saying I also have a problem, and its name is Tom.
Oh, darling, I have to take this. Just have some food. I'll be right back. And I get up and head outside. And then I pull up the communication device. So, I don't really care who you are. I just care that I believe we have a common enemy. Tomfoolery?
Tomfoolery. We do indeed.
So, he was supposed to take care of a problem. And from what I can tell, created a worse problem. Do you agree?
You told him to take care of that problem? In my establishment?
No. He said he had a buyer. Somebody powerful.
Well, he lied to you.
That's what I figured, and I do so hate when people lie to me, and I would love to take care of that problem on a more permanent basis.
Normally, I would say no. However, I believe that this war must come to its final and inevitable conclusion. I agree with you.
Oh, I like how you talk. We should maybe pool our resources later. I'm in the middle of something right now, and I do need to take care of some other details. Shall we meet later this evening, say around midnight or so?
You name the place, and I'll be there.
Oh. Well, I'll run it through the database and see what feels most appropriate, and I'll send you the details.
Excellent.
The chat room has a good and a bad. Someone needs to break the tie. Is it going to be good or bad for Dragon?
Dragan.
I feel like it should end good for him. That's just my personal opinion. I
agree. This is only going to go well.
Yeah, I feel like this is good. Like, at least this part, it would go well. Ah, bad.
Oh, bad.
Palmer says bad.
So now we're back to a tie because Cassie's like, good.
Oh man, now all I can think of is like you follow him over. Oh man. Okay, so if we're gonna do bad, there's another good. Never mind. It's still tied again.
Good. Okay,
right,
we're getting more goods.
Let's take it. We're closing. We got to move on to the next scene. So
right.
3 goods and 2 bad. So it's ending good.
Yay!
Right. Well, I think we have the beginning of a wonderful and very temporary relationship. I'll see you. Let's go old school. I'll text you the deeds.
Excellent. I'll see you tonight.
I'm looking forward to it. And I click it off and wander back into the food tasting. Ooh, lavender cakes.
See.
Yeah, it's okay, Palmer. It's okay, Palmer. Lots of good in the beginning means you save lots of bad for after the tilt.
The tilt's gonna go bad.
Yeah, as a reminder,
I'm absolutely giving this white die to Cassie.
Yeah.
I think this went very well for hijinks.
Yeah, so as a reminder, you can see the number of white and black dice that are still left to give away. Basically, once we run out of color, that's it. So
It's all bad from there.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so these dice also act as like a timer mechanism to show how many scenes we have left to wrap up the story. Anyway.
Yep. All right. So that was one. All right. And so we have 3 more to go, right? For this this one. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So who wants to establish or resolve a scene?
Let's see.
I feel like Tom would have at some point called Dragan, so maybe you're tasting some more food and you get another phone call right back to back. So I pull up on the comm link.
Beep 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 beep. Beep 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 beep. Darling, I'm sorry. I will be right back.
You're such a busy bee.
I know. So many planning, so many details, but our wedding is going to be spectacular in the end. It'll all be worth it. I'll be right back.
We should hire this guy.
And I wander back outside and click. Now then, Thomas. You have exactly 1 minute.
All right. Well, I'm enjoying my time in the hot tub here in this hotel room that I got because I can afford one with all the new yen I just made from selling those beetles. I think we're in a good position.
Really? You made the sale?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact.
Well, wonderful. We should celebrate later this evening. Where are you staying?
We Cassie's already saying bad. Yeah, you guys need to start voting quickly because I don't think this scene's gonna last very long. We got. He's like, would you actually believe that right down the street from that place was they buy insects?
Oh, I do find that hard to believe. What luck you've had, Thomas. It seems things are changing for you, aren't they?
Yeah.
And for us, what a wonderful outcome.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we've been able to salvage this professional relationship that we have.
Yes.
I think we work well together.
We absolutely do. Where are you staying again? I would love to swing by.
Yeah, I'm staying at the Hilton downtown because this was a lot of new yen that I made off of this sale. Don't worry, I didn't spend your half. I got it. All right.
Oh, I'm not concerned about the money. You could spend it all. Why don't you have a wonderful evening? Just take my part and treat yourself.
What? Why would I do? Okay. Sure. I mean, yeah. All right. There's a nice restaurant in the hotel that I was wanting to try out, but it's one of those.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, it's one of those tapas places. So
very good.
You can spend a lot of money there, so that's why I hadn't gone yet because I didn't want to spend your half.
No, don't worry about it. I don't. Money leaves trails. So
this is where I am. I will be here all day, and
stay the evening at least. a nice sleep, a wonderful good night's rest.
We should definitely be working together more often.
We absolutely
Dragan.
Yeah,
I got it that time.
You got it that time. I guarantee you we'll be doing a job tonight together. I'm pretty sure. I have a lead on a couple of things that your expertise could really come in handy.
Thanks for saying that. That makes me feel really good.
Good. Well, I'm in the middle of something right now, so
okay. Yeah.
You have a good meal, a lovely rest, and I'll contact you soon.
Yeah, I'm turning these jets back on. This hot tub is feeling pretty good. All right, you take it easy.
Oh, I will.
Click. I know already that I'm giving Greg the black die because things are going too well for him.
I want to add something to that scene though, just for the funsies. When you return back to the tasting table, you see Luke. He looks a little forlorn and says, "Honey, do you know how much this costs? Our wedding's not going to be perfect without it, and we just don't have the money for it."
Well, don't worry about. We have. I didn't want to bring it up, but we do have a treasure trove that maybe my family took from a large flying lizard a long time ago. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Don't worry about the cost, darling.
Why are you so amazing to me? You're the only light in my life in this dark, dark sixth world.
Oh, darling. Can we talk about this more privately?
I think so. We should. Lead the way, darling.
Oh man.
Can we get more? Anything more? Just keep bringing it.
All right.
All right.
Is that the end
So
of the
who
scene?
do we have left that need to have a scene? Is it Cassie and Oz need to do one?
Yes, and the black die went to Dragan?
Dragan, yes.
Okay. Alrighty. Yes.
Oh, man.
Between myself and yeah, I don't know. I'm okay with resolving one as well. Like if anybody wants to set something up for Luke. Right now, all he's got is like he's got a lead with this one scarab. So I mean, this one beetle. I was thinking of maybe like getting it to like taking it in, but I don't really know what I would do with the with that info.
What if here we go. What if like Luke gets a call because a couple of the scarabs, the beetles survived, and because they were in the BTL den, they got fragments of Hijinks and Dragon's conversation. And so like you're being called to like the forensics to like try to piece together this puzzle. Like they've made a discovery. Like things are weirdly linked.
I dig that. Okay, so who wants to play my forensic partner?
I
think it should be Cassie. Yeah, since this deals with hijinks. All right, so we're in like this dimly lit evidence forensics lab, and let's see. I think I'm trying to find a good song for this. Probably that. Okay. So
awesome.
All right. So, but what does it all mean?
It seems like there were these critters were recording information. That they never stopped recording information.
How is that possible?
I'm not sure, but you know, there's a recording here that I think that I've pulled a couple pieces from, and you know what? Just listen to it. And so she pulls up like a sound file, and and you hear that you hear a voice that you recognize. It's Hijinks. She say you're making plans with someone, and it takes you a moment. You know, it's just like, so it sounds like they're making some sort of meetup. I don't know where, and I don't know why. All I heard was meeting at midnight, and so I play that file, and you hear the your fiance setting up a meeting at midnight with hijinks.
Oh my god. Listen. I need this destroyed.
Oh man. Destroyed, but
This cannot get out. This will exonerate hijinks. I know it will.
okay.
This is a bigger piece of a puzzle that is too hard to piece together. And this cannot be released. It cannot. Here, let me just go ahead and start deleting it for you. And this is like delete.
Yeah, right? It's like, exactly. So like staring. But that was a lead. We could find out where they were meeting, and then
I already have.
Finally, get hijinks.
No, I already have the lead. Trust me. I need you to trust me, Veronica.
You owe me. And I reach over and I press the I press the erase button. I take the beetle and I throw it into like a electromagnetic device and just press the button again, and then you hear this like zapping sound. It's like no one would be able to get anything from that.
Thank you, Veronica. Oh, by the
All
way,
right,
here's
looks
an
like it's supposed
invitation
to
to our
end
wedding.
good for you guys.
All right, here's an invitation for our wedding. RSVP. I have to go.
Thank you.
RSVP or whatever. Honestly, everything's so transient in this world. And he just darts out of the place, and essentially, so I want it the good. So this is a good. This ends well. Okay, so I'm gonna basically wrap it up with a hard cut, like a smash cut to Luke Shields basically tailing his fiance surreptitiously through the streets of the Sprawl and pulling up to the Hilton.
All right.
He watches his fiance walk in through the door. What are you up to, my sweet? And scene.
So.
All right. So I got a good die. White die.
Yeah. You gotta hand that to somebody.
Yes. I'm gonna hand. Oh no! Wait. I get to pick. Right?
Yeah, you get to.
No, because I sort of. Well, we sort of like.
Wait.
Like I should have picked if it ended good or bad, but I would have picked good anyway. So I'll take the white die, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Tom, because tomfoolery, something about him.
Uh-oh.
Whoops. We just lost we lost a Bobby. No. There he is. Damn it, Bobby. You ruined everything.
Sorry, Discord decided to update on me.
Oh.
Wow.
Oops.
Great timing, Discord. All right, so I just gave in brighter news, I gave you a white die.
Oh, awesome. All right.
Nice.
All right, so that leaves the last scene of Act 1 to hijinks.
Now, as we go into Act 2, we have to keep in mind that we're going to have to move swiftly through those scenes once we get to Act 2.
We've been doing pretty well.
Is there not one more?
There is.
Just
I'm just
yours,
giving a heads
Okay.
up.
So do you want to establish or resolve a scene?
All right.
To you, Cassie. Yeah.
I am going to.
When Cassie giggles.
You know what? I will establish a scene, and I will establish the scene with Dragan. So yeah. I think that it's going to be our initial meeting in the hotel.
Yeah.
For sure. So
Where in
I
the
think
hotel?
that Uh-oh. So I think that it should be somewhere that's not right in the open.
Oh yeah. No.
For sure. Let's say I totally rented out a meeting room. Like the one of the meeting rooms that are in the Hilton, and using a fake information, obviously, and one of my other identities, and yeah, so I'm already waiting there.
Yeah, because I told you midnight, and I show up at 12:05.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can make an entrance.
Yes.
Greg, question. I think your microphone, since it's like bent over here to your speaker, your headset speaker, like we can hear it every once in a while, like we get an echo. Is there a way to like kind of pull that down away from your headset?
I don't know. I had to listen to the show because sometimes you cut out for me, and so I started listening to it just so I can actually hear what you're saying, Oz. So,
Oh, really? I'm still cutting out?
Yeah,
me,
every
anyway.
once in a while. I get it every once in a while too.
Okay. So it
But
is
yeah,
a me issue.
so that's probably what you're hearing, because my headphones aren't that great at like keeping sound in them. So
Got
but
it.
that's okay. I can
Okay.
guesstimate what you're saying.
Got it. All right. So, hotel. Where are we? Where in the hotel?
I've rented out one of the boardroom meeting rooms that apparently seats 100. So conference center C. Thank you, radio. It comes with a buffet that I'm not eating any of, but that's okay. Maybe my friend is hungry. My new partner in crime, or partner in pranks, I should say.
Yeah, so I'll come in and oh, what a spread! This is lovely.
And you see like a I guess what would be a satyr, except like the bottom half is all robot, and the top half is like some really weird skin that's been placed over the rest of the robot to make it look like a satyr.
Well, aren't you interesting? So, this hotel, are you familiar with it?
I've already downloaded the blueprints and I am very familiar with it.
Then you should know that Tom is staying here.
Yes. I've already found out which room he's staying in.
This is more efficient than I expected. So, it would be best if Tom didn't wake up.
I agree. I
Now, naturally, this can't be at all traced back to me, and I'm trusting your complete discretion and skills here. He is definitely not suspecting a thing.
Definitely not.
At this, so cutaway though to Luke Shields at the door, listening in on the meeting.
Yeah. Is this gonna go, guys? Is this gonna go good
Who's tomfoolery?
or bad for hijinks?
for hijinks.
Yeah. Who is tomfoolery? I like that. What's this tomfoolery they're getting into?
Why is my fiance dealing with my mortal enemy?
Yeah. The more important question, yeah. What is
So,
happening?
man.
So,
Who am I
can
marrying?
I leave this to you?
Well, what exactly do you bring to the table other than your passion for vengeance, obviously?
Well, I've given you the location. I've erased all of the evidence of your illegal den by blowing it up so it can't be traced back to you. And I'll keep it out of the papers, so nobody will suspect a thing. It's a perfect crime. I'm quite good at those.
It's a look at the camera. Perfect crime.
I'm very good at those. I just imagine, like, you're like Detective Shields listening to you. I'm very good at those. And then you're like, oh, I don't even know you anymore. Maybe I never knew you.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that's quite a lot. I've already set up some explosive retribution, should we say?
Well, no, it's fine. This is a low-class hotel anyways. Whatever you need to do, just I'm trusting you to take care of the problem and don't worry about the rest. I have an in with the police.
Erica says bad for Cassie.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like I don't anticipate it. Well.
Yeah. Nobody says this is. Nobody else is saying anything, so I say we call it bad for Cassie.
Yep. Luke Shields feeling
man.
betrayed.
I'm selling you out to my husband, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Luke Shields feels betrayed by his husband, and his immediate first reaction is, I need to find a tomfoolery. And he runs over to the lobby, and he flashes his badge at the person at the front desk and says, I need to know where tomfoolery is now. And cut away from me.
Oh
man. Okay.
I think that's a good ending. I think that ends badly for you because you've been found out.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give that the bad one to Oz though. I feel like that's appropriate.
Yeah.
It's,
you know what I just realized? I should have busted in there and try to catch hijinks. Like, you're right there.
Right? And I bet you would have if not for your fiance being there too.
The heartbreak was it was too much for me to think clearly.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, that's the end of Act 1. Everything's been set up, and now we get to move to the tilt, right?
Yep.
So we're now at the tilt. This is where the incident at the heart of the story comes into play. Incident is in quotes. What we're going to do now is everyone's going to roll the dice, which they've earned through our scenes in Act 1. So we're going to do that first. First, you're going to roll your black d6 and your white d6. So for example, for Oz and Greg, that'll be 1d6 each. You roll that twice. For me, I have 2 white dice. I'm going to roll a 1d6 and a 2d6, and we're gonna do that. And then you need to subtract the greater number from the lesser number total that you get. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not to Oz, because never mind. He was rolling the other dice. I was like, you don't have 16 dice, Oz.
You don't know me. All right, I got a 4.
I got a 3.
No, that's not how you roll dice.
I got a 5.
Ooh.
And I got a 4. So we look at the the high, is it the highest or lowest, or is it the two highest?
Highest, the two highest, but we're tied. There's
with a 4. So Greg definitely is the highest, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a 5.
I say let's have chat break the tie between me or Bobby to decide the second tilt element.
So what you're deciding is Greg will be definitely deciding one of the tilt elements, and then you guys get to decide between me or Oz who's going to pick the second tilt element that defines what the rest of the thing is going to go. And while we're doing that, Greg, you could go ahead. You got the highest anyway. You can go ahead and pick a tilt element first. Have we rolled the?
Nope.
Are we ready?
Now, there we go. All right, so those are I just rolled 8 dice. You have a lot of 4s, some 6s, some 3s, and a 1. So 2s and 5s are off the table.
Wow.
So no tragedy, no paranoia.
Okay.
Just like before, this is for everybody watching, just like before, we have a table of items that we're choosing from that you guys can't see, but there are things on it that are going to determine what happens next.
I mean, I think the only option I can pick is failure.
That's a 6. It looks like Oz, you're going to get to pick the other tilt category.
Perfect.
I guess is it?
Yep. All right, so failure. That's using a 6. Okay, so we still have 1 6 left. I'm gonna jot down these numbers here just so that we 3 4 4 4 6. Okay. Sorry for the little 1 3. Yeah. Okay, so that's what's left, and then okay, so then I get to pick another tilt element, and I think, let's see, I'm gonna use, oh man, too bad about tragedy. Innocence isn't worth that. Guilt. Oh, I like guilt. Or failure.
Oh yeah.
Guilt or failure.
Well, we already have failure, so.
Oh, that's right.
I guess
yes.
we could do.
No. Double failure. No. Sorry, I didn't even realize. Oh man, okay. It's early. Guilt. I'm using a 4 for guilt. So now, Greg, you define my guilt, and then I'm going to define your failure.
Yeah, using the remaining dice.
I'm gonna go with somebody who develops a conscience.
What?
Ooh.
Somebody develops a conscience.
Oh, that could be a couple of different.
That's
nicely
that's 3 of the
open-ended.
players here.
Yeah.
I'm
like
the
that.
only one with a conscience here. It seems like so. What was the number? Not even,
3.
because I allowed everything to just burn to the ground. Like all of the evidence, I'm just like tossing away.
Yeah.
I'm a great detective. You said it was a 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then last for me, I can 1, 3, 4, or 6 for failure. A stupid plan executed to perfection. No. A tiny mistake leads to ruin. A good plan comes unraveled. Fear leads to a fateful decision. I don't know if there's a good plan at all going on, but I think I like a tiny mistake leads to ruin. This all feels very precarious.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so this is our tilt. What this means is we have, as we play the next, our second act, we have to take into account this tilt and lead ourselves into this situation. Like, it doesn't have to be right away. You can start like building up towards it, especially because both of these seem like, we'll see, right? But yeah, just keep them in mind, and we need to make them happen by the end of Act 2.
Right. And we got to keep our 5-minute limit, and we'll be right on time. It'll be good. So let's jump right into Act 2. Act 2 is basically, now that the tilt's been established, we proceed with incorporating the tilt. And Act 2 basically works the same as Act 1, except one little thing that's different is instead of giving away the die that you keep it. So That's sounds interesting, or it might sound good, but it could be bad because remember the chat is deciding in a lot of these cases, in fact all these cases so far, whether or not things go good or bad for us. So this is when you might see people start to decide that they want to resolve instead of.
I mean, I feel like the first scene has to be between Luke and Tom.
Agreed, 100%.
Like, there's no way that is not the next scene. Like,
yeah,
you know that bad thing is gonna happen to this Tom person.
Yeah, no, hands down. Okay, so I'm gonna So I'll set this scene basically. The plan for me right now is I need to get to this tomfoolery because he is at the heart of this situation, and maybe I can use him to entrap hijinks for good. And I'm basically like banging on his hotel room door at this Hilton.
You're banging on the hotel door, huh? Okay, so you get up there, and Tom gets up out of the. He's got like a towel around him, and because he's just getting out of the hot. He's got a cigar in his mouth. He's getting out of the hot tub again because he's been spending as much time in there as he can. And he answers the door. He's like, 1 minute, coming. Ah, I dropped my cigar. Oh man, don't worry, I'll pay for the carpet. Yeah, and I open the door. Hey, how can I help you?
I immediately flash my badge.
Whoa! Take it easy there, pal.
Knight errant.
I mean, how can I help you, officer?
Oh man, some of my music isn't working. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, so listen to me very carefully. You're in danger.
What?
There are operatives inside of this hotel trying to murder you. And I believe that some of those operatives are the evil terrorist hijinks. An AI that is on the wanted list for Knight Errant.
What? Everybody's saying, well, Palmer so far is saying bad for, I don't think my vote counts. Yeah, Cassie. Hijinks.
You need to tell me everything that you know.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Do you know Jorgan? Saturninus?
Of course not. You must have the wrong door.
Listen to me. Your life is in danger. I heard them both speaking. They will kill you. We need to get you somewhere safe.
I don't know how could that be? I have a really good working relationship. I mean, I don't know who that guy is, Dragan.
So you do know Dragan.
What? I said.
How do you know Dragan? You need to tell me how you know Dragan. You start shaking him. I need answers, damn it.
Somebody help me.
I pull a gun on you and I hold it up to your head. You need to give me answers right now, you piece of shit.
I think the way that this ends badly, by the way, is that this is all happening in the hallway, and there's a bunch of other patrons of the hotel, including maybe some staff members, all like looking wide-eyed down the hall as I say, look, we can, I don't know maybe what you're talking about, but we can talk about this somewhere maybe that's a little bit less conspicuous. Do you want to come in here? And certainly we don't want anybody calling security for this to, come on, why don't you come in here so nobody calls security?
There's no need to call security, and I flash my Knight Errant badge. No.
All right. And yeah, then
we don't have time, damn it.
I let him in.
We don't have time, damn you. I pull you out of the hotel room and I say, come with me. If you want to live.
Oh, even better. Even better. Drag me down into that. Yeah, that's definitely gonna go bad for you. I think you get a black die there, Oz.
Yeah, for sure. There's a good tapas restaurant. I think we should talk there.
Okay.
So, does the hotel room explode as you're riding down?
Probably.
Yes. Maybe not even as I'm writing down, like we pull, like as we're waiting for the elevator and I have my gun at his back, the hotel room door just explodes and like all these flames lick the hallway and like take out a couple of the hotel staff.
Yeah, like I don't know. I think maybe my tiny mistake was putting too many explosives around.
I see.
I wanted to make sure to get the
God.
job done.
Get down!
I dropped that cigar, but I didn't think. Ugh.
So there's too many, and so the way that this goes bad then is the explosive,
Like every way?
yeah, the explosive just levels the floor and the there's just debris everywhere, and I'm currently there we go. So I'm currently pinned under some cement, some blocks.
All right, next scene.
Oh man. So I'm really excited. I just heard my explosives go off. That means I've taken care of the problem. So I think I'll take the next scene. I think. And I think maybe I'll have the scene with with Dragan, I guess. So we're celebrating a job well done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we don't know that your fiance is also buried in rubble at this point.
Tell me this goes badly for you, and I have an idea.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You guys decide while they're doing this whether it's gonna go good or bad.
They haven't even started the scene. Jeez.
Yeah,
We
I
get
think
it.
we're like. I'm like.
Are we at brunch? Are we doing early brunch? For sure.
We're absolutely having early brunch.
With mimosas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even drink mimosas.
You're a robot.
I would
Robo-mosa.
say one thing that was highly effective, although I wouldn't have taken out the whole floor. But who am I to question?
Well, sometimes you just need to make sure that a problem is solved. We both wanted to solve the same problem, right?
We did, and I'm still waiting for confirmation that they found the body, so I will rest more easily once this has been confirmed, and indeed tomfoolery has moved on.
Well, right now all we have is one vote for relative D-Pod who said bad. So
Yeah,
I think it really. Go ahead, Cassie.
Has any more people? Because
Yeah.
it could just continue to go even worse. So that'd be cool.
Well, if we go with bad, for the sake of moving, yeah, there we go. We're
Excellent.
getting bad.
Bad.
I think what happened was upon seeing what's going on, Tom bolted down the stairs, and he's got his sunglasses on top of his head and in a towel, running outside and through the restaurant just past, and then locks just past these two while he's like, I gotta get out of here.
Oh my gosh.
As you guys see him running past.
So
So no. A job not done well.
Damn it! Slippery little fucker.
All right, you have eyes. Complete the job. I think at that point I also get a text like that my husband's missing.
Yes.
Yeah,
And,
you get you know what? Yeah, let's do that. You get a video call, and I'm currently trapped under rubble. Dragan.
Oh my god. Oh, I have to go. Go. Kill him. And I run off.
All right. Well, he runs one way. I'll run another, and get Tom once and for all.
All right, that's the black die goes to Cassie, I suppose.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. The chase is on.
Yeah, so I'm assuming you're trapped up there, right? Like I can gather enough from the call that you're trapped up.
And
top.
from my facial expression of betrayal and knowledge.
Yeah. So I definitely think I'm definitely making my way up to that area to help to save.
All right. So you're establishing a scene.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So I think I walk into that, like I managed to like augment myself and get up into the wreckage, and I could just see you trapped, and I just start sobbing and trying to like dig my way through. I'm coming. Oh my god. I'm coming.
You need to tell me what's happening. Dragan, I thought I knew you better than this. What are you doing dealing with terrorists?
I wanted to make our life perfect. Honey, if I could get rid of all of this magic, all of these things that put your life in danger, I never thought that it would end up like this. Everything was supposed to go perfectly. Why were you even here?
Because I was trying to stop this horrible plan. I can't have the love of my life be wrapped up in the schemes of a terrorist AI. You're being manipulated, Dragan. You're being manipulated. Please.
No, it wasn't supposed to be me. You see, if I could take care of everything, if everything had just gone right, you could have captured this hijinks. I knew how to get a hold of them. I could track them, and then if you had just stayed home, if I had just... Look, I'm so sorry.
Good or bad for them, guys?
I've destroyed everything.
Oh man.
Dragan, I'm currently pinned under some concrete blocks.
Well, I'm working on that, darling. I'm working on that.
I know. And I don't think I can feel my legs.
It's going bad for Dragan.
Feel my legs.
I like that we're working in the conscience and the guilt part of the tilt. This is great. Everybody says bad. They have no hearts here in the Shadowcasters network chat. They want it to go bad for Dragan.
All right. You have a black die. How does this go bad?
I managed to lift the rock off and free you. And then I just slipped the engagement ring off and put it in your hand and walk away.
Dragan.
Oh,
Dragan! No. Damn it! No! No! You were supposed to be the love of my life! And I'm just like dragging myself along the rubble because I don't have my leg.
And I just turned around as I hit the stair. as I hit the stairwell, and I turn around and go, "You were the love of my life, but it's all gone wrong now." And then I shut the door.
Oh, no. Another black die for Greg.
I clutch the engagement ring and sob and breathe in asbestos. Or not asbestos, just rubble dust. It's just this pathetic sobbing / coughing / I'm gonna die / oh god, I need to live.
Yeah, and like I tell like all the rescuers exactly where Luke is, like exactly the whole situation. And as I leave the building.
Yeah. They're still using asbestos in buildings. This truly is a dystopia.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Bobby, this is your scene.
So certainly, I'm running down the street with Hijinks right behind me. He's running as fast as he can, trying to hold his towel up because that's the only thing he's got. And his sunglasses are almost falling off his head, but he doesn't know what to do because he can't run any faster. And Hijinks is galloping after. You'll never catch me, Hijinks.
Gosh.
And then I stub my toe or something, and then stop and take a breath. Why does it have to come to this, Hijinks?
You ruined my business plans. You ruined my business plans, and you stole my money.
I don't know what you're talking about. Wait, I stole your money? Are you in the insect business now?
No, you idiot. I was into beetles, not beetles.
Oh. Okay. I think I understand why everyone's so pissed off at me now. Look, I would gladly give you back the money, Hijinks, but I mean, you saw that hotel. It's a pretty nice place. I spent it all. and then to top it off, the 100 new yen I spent on that nice cigar I was smoking caused the whole floor to explode.
What?
I don't know what's going on. What were you even doing there?
What do you think I was doing there? I was trying to kill you.
Look, how did it come to this, Hijinks? Look, we used to be friends, and it just started with, we were roommates, and I just put some, you put saran wrap on the toilet, and I put the bucket of water on top of the doorway. I didn't think about the fact that water and robots don't mix. Can you really blame me?
Yes, I can really blame you. This is all your fault.
Erica says it's ending well. Radio Free says bad. We need a tiebreaker. We're running low on black die. So,
doesn't matter.
So we should keep using the black die until they're gone.
I want this to go well for Bobby. I mean, I'm going to put in my 2 cents. I want this to end well for Bobby.
Look, things got out of hand. I don't know. Good. Everybody's saying good. Okay.
Okay. I gotcha.
We can leverage the conscience, the guilt part if we want.
So okay, go for it. I have an idea too.
Look, I really thought I was selling you rare techno critter. I didn't even know you were. How was I supposed to know? You hate me. I wouldn't have gone to that place if I knew it was you. I respect our relationship of hate. We have a mutually hateful relationship, and I like it that way. Okay? We don't. We prank each other. I replace the milk in your cereal with orange juice. You blow up half of an arcology. It's a good fun thing that we have, and it keeps me busy, and I like it. If I'd have known, I wouldn't have done. Like I said, I wouldn't. You gotta believe me, all right?
So, God damn it, you're right. I really thought that we were friends, and I didn't understand why you would do that. You know that I never wanted to hurt you, and then you come into my place and you destroy all of my hard work. I mean, I didn't destroy your half of the arcology.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, that's true. I hadn't really thought about it that way. You know, look, you have to admit some of these pranks were funny, right? Like the time I put hot sauce on the toilet paper. That one didn't really work out. I didn't think about the fact that you don't, use toilet paper.
Yeah, and then I traded out the toilet paper so then you would actually have the flaming ass, and it was great.
Right. Funny times.
Good time.
I mean, it wasn't funny at the time, but that's pranks, right?
It's pranks. You know what?
Look. Let's get serious for a second. There's the Lone Star are looking for you.
Everybody's looking for me.
It seems that way.
But you know what?
I know how it feels now, blowing up a building.
It's fun, isn't it?
I mean, I'm not gonna say I feel terrible about it. But,
maybe it's time we team up. Have some fun together. Maybe we can pull some pranks on KE instead of each other.
Nice idea. All right, that's gonna be the end of that scene because I want to see. I want to leave it in suspense what ideas we come up with.
Yeah.
That's a white die for me. Did you already hand that out? Or?
Yes,
okay.
I did. All right, so now any of us can start the next scene.
Oh, I have one.
Awesome.
All right.
So the scene cuts into Dragan wandering into his old family's estate and wanders into the study and pulls the 3 necessary books that opens up the passage to the antechamber, and he wanders down to the book that he swore he'd never open and sits in front of it and then opens it up and starts the incantation to summon forth their family's dark master.
Oh no, the Saturninus.
You were right. Everybody was right. And now the world should burn.
Dragan, the Saturninus family calls upon me yet again.
What do I need to do?
You called me. I am at your service. You say you want to have the world burn.
1 vote for bad so far.
I will make this request upon you. I will set you free as long as you destroy the creature known as Hijinks and the vile human known as Tomfoolery. And if you must use a vessel, I give myself unto you.
Well, they want it to end bad, so
I think that's pretty bad.
Anyway.
This is awesome.
To which the spirit says, "Then you are. I will happily take your body as my vessel." Okay.
And then I think I shut my eyes and then open it up, and then in that sort of weird voice go, "Dragan is no more. There is only Saturninus.
Perfect. Give yourself
Black die.
a black die.
Oh my god.
I feel like this is the way it always had to be.
A tiny mistake leads to ruin of the world.
All right. I want to. I really want to see Detective Shields again somehow.
Okay. Give me 1 second, because.
But the question is, how does Detective Shields go from dragging himself into the through the hallway?
Well, I mean, it could be like a day or so later. Like he's been rescued and being patched up.
That's true. That's very
things
that's true.
happen.
Yeah.
Like,
I like that.
We have high tech magics. Like that's not going to keep you down for that long.
Yeah. This is like me post cyber legs.
Yeah. Now you're more hijinks than you were.
And
this is turning into like a Javert Jean Valjean situation.
But it always was, right?
All right, so so I now have cyber legs, and I walk out of the knight errant medical facility, ready for vengeance and to get my life back on track. I'll allow, you know what, I say let's resolve a scene for me. It's gonna be my last, or it's gonna be my personal last scene. So what is the what does Luke do?
Man, so I feel like you're at your desk right now, wallowing in self-pity and impotent rage. Like, you've lost everything you've loved. And now there's yeah, go for it.
There's got to be a tip, some kind of a tip. Maybe even Hijinks and Tom, because they've teamed up to pull the greatest of pranks. Have somehow planted some tip to lure the detective out, and it pulls him out of his self-pity and wallowing in despair, because he's like, I'm gonna get mine before this is over, you know.
So how do I how do I find out about this again?
I don't know. What does it look like? We set up hijinks. Oh, reports of reports of a four-legged metal robot vandalizing something, or I don't know. It's got to be something like that.
Yes, it's got to be like some sort of heist, I think.
And we've done it on purpose because we're trying to draw him out.
Yeah.
Because we want to like spray silly string on him or something.
So is this a scene maybe between? But what am I like? What is Luke doing in this? That's basically what my question is. I don't know where to take this scene. That's what I meant.
I think Luke has a hot tip. Like, I think again, a tiny mistake leads to ruin. I think that Hijinks and Tom had laid like a trap, and it's an obvious trap. So I think Luke is actually going there fully prepared to arrest them. Like you immediately saw through the ruse. Like, now that you aren't a trusting soul at all, and you look at the darkness and everything, like, I think you go there fully prepared for whatever they have to try to actually arrest both of them.
Okay, great. Yeah. So I have surrounded this. What is the heist location? A bank, or a?
No, the heist location is a stuffer shack.
Stuffer shack. We end in a stuffer shack. All right, so
it had to be this way.
And you, of course, knew who it was, because the tiny mistake was that Hijinks relied on Tom to be the one who left the tip, and instead of doing anonymous, he said, Yeah, the tips from Farm Toolery.
All right. So after that, he looks up from his phone from that tip, and then like smash cut to Luke Shields flanked by like 30 different knight errant officers in heavy riot
Cars
gear
outside of the
and
stuffer
guns,
shack,
yeah.
lights going, and
Yes. And Luke walks up, his trench coat flapping in the wind, close to the ground, and pulls out the comically oversized megaphone in comparison to him and says, and shouts into the stuffer shack, "You're surrounded, hijinks and tomfoolery. Give yourselves up."
oh yeah, you get to decide if it's going to end good or bad. You're resolving.
Yeah. Well, I'll make my decision as we do the scene. So.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm like, John, what did you do?
Well, we drew him out, right?
Outside. Well, we wanted to just draw him out, not the whole precinct.
I really don't think that was that we talked about that part. I mean, I would have remembered if you said just Detective Shields. I mean, I would have remembered that.
It was first Detective Shields, and then that mage guy, Saturnitius or something. What was his?
Saturninus.
Yeah, that one.
I know what I'm gonna do here.
Dragon. He hate. That's a good prank. He hates it when you call him Dragon.
Luke, from the outside, Luke turns to his partner Veronica and hands the megaphone over to her and says, "I'm going in. I have a score to settle. I'm going in as a negotiator."
I did. You cut out for me right at the dramatic moment. I didn't hear what you said.
I'm going in as a negotiator. I have a score to settle.
Man.
And
All right.
and Veronica takes the megaphone.
Hijinks, are we ready?
Yes, we're doing this.
And
Get your cans ready.
Luke. Luke walks up to the automated glass doors that slide open. His hands are up. Says, "I'm not armed. At least not right away."
Yeah, so are we.
There's no more need for any more bloodshed.
There's not going to be any more bloodshed, Detective.
Never. There never was any bloodshed.
Yeah.
There was all the bloodshed. Do you know how many people have died because of you two?
But they didn't bleed out.
Have they really?
That's...
Also that.
Do you not have any regard for human life? Bleeding out, dying
Does
immediately.
it look like I have regard for human life? I'm a robot.
Obviously not, and that's why you need to be put away for good.
Whoa. You need to check your privilege, you non-AI. All right? Look, AIs are, well, okay, they're not people, but, you know.
Whoa!
We're superior to people, obviously.
Right.
We don't have the flesh sacks.
Wait, what? Superior?
Just go with it.
Okay, you're right. Prank.
No. Don't you see, Tom? Don't you see? She's using you. Like she uses everybody.
What?
She
That's not
goes
true.
on
That's not
murderous
true.
rampage.
No,
Yes.
we're friends now.
She has
We've always been
manipulated you. All she has done is manipulate you, and now you're wrapped around her finger to further her plot and cause further death. Is that what you want?
We're friends now. She blew up the other side of the arcology, not
That's
mine.
right. That's right. The other side. Don't you even understand? This is what friends do. If you had friends, you would know.
Oh, that cuts
But really,
deep.
better than people? Like, you think you're better than me?
No, I don't. I'm just making mad.
She lies. She thinks she's better than you.
I don't know who to believe anymore.
Well, you know what? I think we should strike while he's trying to confuse us.
I get to select the die, I just realized, so I'm gonna go. It goes well for me.
I don't know about that. I mean, you just think... Look, he makes a really good point. Look, I need to know right now. Do you think you're better than me? Do you think AIs are better than people?
Oh, man.
Look, this could have a serious impact on the future of our relationship.
Okay, so I guess this is ending good for him.
Yep.
So okay, all right. So I pull out both of my silly string cans, pointing one at Tom and one at Detective Shields, and be like, I don't think, I know.
Calm down. Just calm down. Just calm down.
Oh, no!
And the silly string is coated with acid.
I thought it was supposed to go well for Shields.
Well, it goes well for me because it doesn't, like, the acid just, like, lands in front of Luke.
Yeah.
And he just watches
and
the
you know
floor
what? She was
sizzle.
gonna try to get you to sit in that chair, and there's a whoopee cushion in it. All right? I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Look, you're not a nice person. According to you, you're not a person at all. I'm going back with Shields. Look, yeah, go ahead and arrest her, Shields. I don't even want to be prank buddies with hijinks anymore. You and me are buddies now.
Oh, man.
He doesn't even
Fair weather
he barely
friends.
even acknowledges you, and he pulls a gun on hijinks and says, "This ends now," and ends the scene there.
So, I think that I would like to, resolve the scene myself now that I'm being arrested.
Yes.
Okay.
So I've got both of you there.
So,
But I don't know if we want to try to involve the, Saturnitus.
We have to.
it will
We
be
have
involved.
to.
So,
We could wait. We could wait for Tom's scene for me to come back.
okay.
Right.
Sounds good.
So I think I think it would be perfect. So yeah, I say, you know, we're like yeah, we just definitely better. You better arrest her right now. I know all about some stuff that she's done, and I'll talk, because Detective Shields, she is not a nice, not a nice robot.
Yeah. No shit. Looks over to his knight errant buddies and says, "Cuff him. We'll take you down to the station. You can go ahead and sing like a canary."
Yeah, I saw her in a canary one time. You know, she can change to different. There was a robot canary one time that she was inside. It was very hard to understand her because it would just tweet all the time, like tweet, 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 like a canary.
So that's why. Jots
Yeah.
down notes dramatically.
Yeah. You ever been trying to go to sleep in the morning and there's birds outside your window just really making it so you can't go to sleep? I bet you that was her, because she's been telling me for a long time she doesn't like you.
Whose
Look,
scene is this again?
This is Cassie's scene.
He's like, oh yes, please arrest me.
Everyone turn off your
Anything
devices.
to get away from this loser. And I'll point over to Tom.
Yeah.
Everyone turn off your devices. This is a volatile AI.
I don't have any devices. I'm still wearing just my towel.
All right, so you're being like handcuffed and I guess like dragged into like a Faraday cage van.
Yeah. So, as I'm being dragged away, before I can get into the cage, I'm gonna take the last white die for myself because, and everything is shut down except for your brand new shiny pair of cyber legs. So, as I'm being let out, I'll be like, so, how do you like those legs? It's nice, isn't it?
What are you getting at, hijinks?
It'd be a shame if they just ran out from underneath you.
The ultimate break.
So, as you look confused and uncertain.
Luke pulls the gun, slow motion, trying to stop you.
And as you the gun, my eyes go dark, and then all of a sudden, your legs are running, and you can't stop them.
Ah!
So I'm using you as my escape plan. So I've put my consciousness into your cyber legs, and we're leaving now.
That's amazing. Well, there's only a black die left, and that's my scene. So I'm standing there. I'm like, wow, this is kind of taking a turn. I guess hijinks is just
the ultimate hijink.
It's the ultimate prank. That hijinks, man. She is one prankster. Am I right? And I go to high five the nearest Lone Star officer to me, or Knight Errant rather officer to me. Am I right, huh?
And I'm there, returning the high five.
Oh, geez. Hey.
Hello, Tom.
So,
Shh, Tom.
You might be looking for the detective.
No, I'm looking for you.
Okay. We can,
Shh, there's no need for you to talk anymore, Tom. I've thought about this. You've taken everything from me. Well, not me. The other me. And I thought about the many ways we should kill you, but that seems remarkably easy. So instead... And he reaches forward and puts a thumb on your forehead. You shall forever bear my mark.
Oh my god.
That doesn't sound
Nothing
good.
will ever go right for you again. If you thought you've had bad luck before, try making it through your life now, Tom.
That's it?
That's it, and then I disappear.
That doesn't seem so bad. As I turn around to walk away, and then trip over a crack in the sidewalk, and bust my lip open on the ground. Ah, son of a coincidence, I'm sure.
So that's a black die for sure for you.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Now
So we have
out
of dice.
Yeah, we have about 10 minutes left, and we are in the final part, which is the aftermath, which is basically we get to take turns telling the epilogue of our characters using the dice that we've accumulated. Isn't that how it works, Oz?
Yes. So we all roll same as we did for the tilts, except now the color, the larger color is the one that's going to count towards the aftermath. Like because there's a difference between black and white.
Yeah. So we roll. Okay. So I'm rolling the 2D.
Yeah, so I rolled my 3 black, which I got a 14, and my 1 white, so I got a 5, so I ended up with a 9.
Oh.
9 black.
9 black.
All right, and then 1.
I got an 11
man,
and a 7. So that's a 4 white for me.
I got 1 white.
Oh.
I got a 5 white.
All right. So let's read out those results so that we can know how we want to do it. So basically the way that it works is we're going to spend a die and we do like a little montage moment, like a little one sentence, like this is me and describing what it is. And a white is good and a black is bad. Black. Okay, so 1 white.
Yeah.
Dreadful. So this is for hijinks. You are certainly dead, probably from a self-inflicted wound. People you care about are also probably dead, maybe through your own stupid, ugly failure. To say that you fucked up is an insult to a fucked upness. You have redefined the term.
Excellent. So...
Wait, for Bobby, miserable. The 5 white. You are humiliated in a big public way, and whatever reputation you once had is now in dirty pieces all around you. You'll never think of these days without a shudder of horror at your own aggressive stupidity. Greg, 9 black. Nothing to write home about. Back to where you started. Maybe sore and broke, just like yesterday and tomorrow. You probably learned something, though, like how to do it right next time. Next time. And Luke Shields, white 4, bitter. You know what it's like to be utterly crushed, casually brought low, forced to eat your own words and stand mute and powerless before your enemies. They gloat and you are helpless. All right, so let's start with Bobby. You have the most dice, so.
All right, and we have $5 more until we meet our quota. So somebody go buy a raffle ticket, and we will have done what we need for this show. So I guess I'll use one of my white dice. So these are good and bad things that lead to the inevitable conclusion that you just described.
Correct.
All right. So for the white, for one of my white die, the Lone Star takes. I keep saying Lone Star, but Knight Errant takes Tom back to the station, gets a statement from him, and he tells him all kinds of things about hijinks and the types of things she does. And for his willingness to cooperate, they decide not to pursue any legal action. He gets to go. He traded the information that he has for to be able to walk a free man.
Got it. All right, Greg.
My first black die, I think it's a scene back at the Sanctum, and it's just Saturninus, like, with a map of the city and the surrounding area, and, like, pins are floating into it, and just picking various points, and it, like, as the camera kind of pulls up, it's clearly like a large arcane circle that is being drawn and carefully mapped out on the map.
Awesome. My black, or I guess my white die is, no, you know what? No, my black die, I'm going to spend my black die to say that I have to, I find myself at a ripper, like, I have to basically perform my own surgery to remove the cyber legs from me, and I take the cyber legs and I smash them over and over and over again against a wall. Die, and then I'm just left crying in an alley somewhere with no legs. Again.
Oh man, okay. That's fine.
Hijinks.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I am going to I guess I'll spin my white die first. To say that there was as he's destroying his legs, somebody threw away an old school Nintendo gaming console in the alley. It's kind of busted, and it may or may not work, But in order to save my AI life, I transfer my consciousness into an old beat-up Nintendo
Excellent.
before
Bobby.
it's too late.
I'm gonna use another white die actually, and perhaps lull Tom into a false sense of security. He's feeling good about himself. He's just left the station because they let him out, and he's walking down the street, and he decides to walk past the hotel, and he looks. He's got his hands in his pocket, and he's whistling and looking pretty good. And he looks down as he's walking, and he sees on the ground in front of him a partially smoked cigar, and he says, "Huh." And he picks it up and puts it in his mouth and continues on, thinking, things are going really well for me.
Greg. Greg.
All right, I'm going to spend a black die. I'm thinking about this one. All right, so I think the black die is just another sort of shot of Saturninus going into various seedy nightclubs, just the worst of the worst, and like spreading money around. Like everybody believes they're getting paid a lot of money, even though it's basically leaves and dust. And he's just giving out all these things, and like the music is so loud and you can hear them talking, but like the audience can't make out exactly what's being said. But Saturninus, he was very, very happy about that.
Okay. For my, I'll spend a white die. This is me trying to mend my relationship with Dragan, only to notice that this is no longer Dragan. And I need to get rid of the supernatural.
Oh. So I will. I'm gonna save my black die for last. So I, for a while in the rain and dirt and filth, in my new unable, and the part of the city is so poor, nobody that walks by even has a comm link. So I've been trapped there until some rubbish collector sees the box and picks it up. Obviously, this rubbish collector still does not have any kind of comm link or anything electronic that I could shift it over to, but hopefully he's going to take me somewhere where I'll be able to find a new host body.
Is that a white or a black die you're spending?
Is he a rubbish collector or a rubbish collector?
Probably both. Probably both. So yeah, and so that's my white die.
Okay, Bobby.
So I gotta make sure I end up where I need to be.
I'll use a black die. It turns out that was not his cigar that he thought it was. Coincidentally, his cigar on the ground. It was somebody else's cigar, and Tom is going to he gets a he gets a cold sore from putting someone else's in his mouth, and but he's he's trying to convince himself what whatever, that's nothing, ignoring the signs, because cold sores, they're signs.
Yeah. Greg.
All right. Last black die, I think is just watching all of the chaos happen. Half of it doesn't work out as planned because again, nothing ever goes to plan. But at least there's a wide variety of chaos being spread throughout the city, but it's not furthering any sort of like the dark plan at all. But Saturninus doesn't care.
For me, this is going to be a black die. I'm going to. So Luke is going to try to get magical backup, or rather, the Knight Aaron is currently tied up with the giant rampaging spirit, which is his former husband. So Luke prostrates himself in front of Saturninus and says, "Give me back my husband." To which Saturninus says, "He's being kept in another plane. Would you like to join him as well?" And Luke cries and nods and allows himself to also be entered by Saturninus.
Excellent. So I'm gonna spin my black die, and the rubbish collector takes me back to what I was hoping to be a workshop, when in actuality it turned out to be a tech critter menagerie. And I end up being kibble to some, like tech beetle, and it was to tech beetles. And as I am slowly devoured by them, the only thing I can shout is "Ah!"
Bobby.
All right. I'm going to use the white die. So Tom has decided that all this dangerous, high-stakes pranking is too much. It's too dangerous. He just made an escape from nearly, and he's not going to take this for granted. And he still loves pranking, though, so he's going to, but he's lowering the stakes quite a bit. And he heard about, he heard about this fashion show that's going on. And he got some contacts of people he happened to know. Things fell just right into place, and he's got this whole thing set up with like maple syrup that's gonna come down, and then like cannons shooting feathers all over the performers, and it's just gonna be hilarious, and everybody's just gonna laugh, and everything's perfectly set into place and ready to go.
Okay, Greg.
So I think the last scene is. Dragan has created like the ideal home, and has set everything out perfectly. The cake is ready. All of the food that was tasted is there, and then just opens the door and watches Luke appear. And before Luke can say anything, Dragan goes, "Don't worry. I do have some plans to keep this in control, but first, let's get married."
My white die is the relationship is mended. However, and there's a wonderful marriage in the astral plane where Luke is currently floating above the ground because he has no legs, and he knows what it's like to be utterly crushed, casually brought low, forced to eat his own words. He knows that there is no going back, that it's all done, it's all over, and they'll forever be in this metaplane, trapped. And the only love that I'll ever know is the love of a traitor.
I mean, there's worse things. At least it's love.
At least it's love. It's a fucked up relationship. And finally,
All right.
Bobby, last one.
Well, he's ready. Tom's ready to loose this king of pranks that's going to set him into the prankster Hall of Fame. and so he goes and he's ready. He clicks the button where syrup is supposed to fall down on the performers. But first of all, the first thing that starts going wrong is that it turns out it wasn't actually a fashion show. It was a dog show. And he's like, okay, whatever. I'll feather some dogs. It'll still be funny. The second thing that happens is what he thought was in those giant vats that were going to be raining syrup down on top of everybody was actually really smooth, creamy peanut butter. Okay, so that drips down and just peanut butter's everywhere, all over the place. And the dogs are going crazy for it. But just as the dogs are going crazy, the feather cannons shoot. And there was a mistake. It was not loaded with feathers. It was loaded with tons and tons of raisins. All right. And so raisins, as you know, are not good for dogs. So, so the dogs go nuts. There's raisins and peanut butter everywhere. They're trying to eat up the peanut butter. They're getting the raisins. All the dogs get horribly sick and die. And then everyone... It ruins Tom's reputation. He's forever known as an animal-hating dog killer, and he has to live the rest of his life in seclusion and secrecy,
Oh my gosh.
running from animal rights activists and pranksters who don't respect him anymore, and he lives the rest of his life lonely and miserable.
A fitting final sentence for the ending of Fiasco.
Lonely and miserable.
Nicely played.
That was it. Thank you guys so much for playing with us, Greg and Cassie.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. This was fun. I love it.
It's fabulous.
Definitely.
Dragan was everything. So quotable, so
good.
perfection.
Yeah, thank you. And we more than met our goal for the show. So thank you guys watching. Thank you for donating. We are now only $250 away from reaching our 4,000 goal, and we're just now only halfway through the Stream-a-Thon, which, by the way, is amazing. But also, really, are we only halfway through this thing?
Yeah. We get to do it all over again.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So I'm really glad that we got to play this. I don't want to eat and run, so to speak, but we do have another show waiting to get started. Guys,
Can we do a giveaway though? Some Fiasco, at least.
Oh,
Bully
for
Pulpit
sure.
Bully Pulpit gave us copies of Fiasco. Let's give them away.
Let's at least give away the 2 Fiasco physical copies that we have. Do we have those, Cassie? I know some things changed.
I'm working on getting them, so I definitely will have those. It's just waiting to hear back from them. So even if I have to find the copies myself and go raid the Bully Pulpit warehouse, I will make sure that we get 2 copies of Fiasco.
Okay, we'll do those. We'll hold off on some of the other stuff because there was some hiccup in that, but we'll make sure that happens at the very least. So let's do that.
What do you want to do, a shadow run on Bully Pulpit with me? That would be cool.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing. So let me see. We've got I gotta pull up. I found that the best way to do these drawings digitally is just, quite honestly, put everybody's name in a spreadsheet and just go to random.org and pull a random number.
Yeah.
It's the most convenient way to do it. So I'm doing that. Drum roll, please. The first winner is... Let me see. Who are you? The winner is... Zachariah Wallace.
Yay!
Yes, you're gonna get yourself a copy of Fiasco, a physical copy of Fiasco, and that's a great prize. So I'm really glad about that. And we'll get in touch with you. If you're not in the chat room, then you're not hearing me say this anyway, but we'll get in touch with you. And that's a reminder to everybody else who might buy a raffle ticket. You don't have to be present when we draw winners for these things. We will get in touch with you. Let me remove this and then do another one and see who wins the other one. The winner is Carlos Paris.
Woo!
So
Yay!
Congratulations! Thanks to everyone and to both of them, especially for helping to support the Shadowcasters network by buying those raffle tickets. We're gonna do lots more drawings. I'm probably gonna do a couple, maybe 1 or 2 Shadowrun related ones in the next show that we're about to do, which is the reason I'm trying to run because we're a couple minutes late to that. But it's a mechanics showcase for Shadowrun 6th edition. So if you are interested in Shadowrun 6th edition, we're gonna be walking through some scenarios, asking you guys what those scenarios might be that you want to see us like demonstrate. How is it going to work in 6th edition, and is it any different? So do that. So stick around, and as we've said several times, the stream will go down for just a few minutes as we switch over. Oz was streaming this. I'm going to be streaming the next thing while he takes a break and gets ready for the sprawl at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Greg. Everybody who's listening here should check out the Very Random Encounters podcast. They do something amazing, which is really embrace the randomness in role playing, which I firmly believe in that. That's not me just, ringing the bell or whatever the metaphor is. I'm tired. That's true. I really do love that whole idea of just embracing the randomness and going with the flow and role playing.
Well, thank you. Please check us out.
Yeah, Very Random Encounters. Thank you guys, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Bye.
Bye.